Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's 11:30 dark 30 out here, and I'm heading over to pick up my son. We're gonna drive my 44-year-old truck 3.5 hours each way to drop off a gravestone that I stole and repaired. None of this makes any sense. That was dumb. That was dumb. Every tool's a hammer, unless it's a screwdriver, then it's a chisel.
We need a torch. Hate that nut.
We're not doing that. Because it ain't built till it's overbuilt. Every day's a school day. Here we are in a big city of Hopkinton, New Hampshire.
Why are we in Hopkinton, New Hampshire?
With my happy helper. We're on our way to Chester to return my great and his one more great grandma's gravestone that we stole. And when I say we, I don't mean to implicate you in any way, son.
I was not involved.
We're hoping we can get in and out without getting into the town pokey for tonight. We made it to the big city of Chester, New Hampshire. What do you think, son?
Quite a city.
It's a metropolis.
Big town. Metropolis.
Kind of like Argyle.
Yeah,
We're gonna
exactly.
get our stuff unloaded and get to work here. We gotta find it. Did you find it? No, that's over here somewhere. Well, look what we found. Check it out, bud. See if it fits. Is that the missing piece? Oh, be darned. That's it. Sure as can be. It was laying right where that would have been. That was the stone laid. We just didn't quite dig deep enough to find it when we were here before. So, first order of business is going to be gluing that back on. So we got that piece glued on there, and we're down here at the grave now, and we're just cleaning out the base, the slotted base. My trusted associate is picking out all the dirt. We'll clean this up, get it all ready. By then, hopefully that epoxy will be dry. I went ahead and infilled one side, so it's glued together and one side's done. And once we get it standing up here and mortared in place, we'll infill the other side. We'll be out of here. I really don't think it's gonna take too awful long as we don't have any run-ins with the law or the people who run this cemetery. Great, right, son?
Oh yeah.
How much money did you bring? Cash, available money?
Not enough.
Oh, great. So these are the pieces I cut off just because I don't have anything else to do with them. I'm just gonna bury them here in case Granny wants to keep them close by. I don't know. I'll just put them there. Actually, you know what? I'll put that one in when I'm doing the gravel. So as soon as the epoxy on the stone is dry, we'll bring it over and we'll get some mortar in here. But meantime, I think it's break time. We can go over to that general store. It's too early for frothy adult beverages, isn't it?
It is.
That's a thing? Too early?
What time is it?
I don't know. It's not noon, but you can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning. All right, so what we did was we did a little scratch coat, which is mortar mixed about like cake batter, and you spread it around the walls of that slot. Now we've got, then I took more mortar, mixed it in to dry it out a bit more, so it's more like peanut butter.
Yeah.
And that's in the bottom of the slot, but the base is not quite level side to side. So we're gonna set the stone in. We're gonna prop it level this way, side to side first, and then we'll deal with front to back. We'll get some prop rods, and then we'll bring in some gravel to pack around it. You ready?
Yeah.
You got good control there? You can put this corner right in, or you want to set it on the edge? Compared to what else is around?
Compared to what's here, we don't need to be dead on. Okay, shovel instead of back shovel?
No. No, I got a mortar around it. Yeah. We're gonna brace it both ways. So
Okay.
grab that one. Right. Now we'll do one on the other side. I don't know, should we use my big stake?
I don't know if it's gonna go anywhere.
Well, it's a long ways. It is. Probably should use another one here. That's all right. We'll use that one, then he'll still have my phone number, although he has it.
There. Dead wrong, just throwing a shovel in the ground like you normally do when something.
Yeah. Looks pretty good.
Good.
Plum. All right. So there's not a whole lot of room left around it, but I'm gonna chink mortar in there, and then we'll put some gravel in.
Yeah.
Oh, in the truck, that big, like 15-gallon plastic thing is got gravel in it.
Oh, okay.
It's got slots on the side for your hands. It's not terrible to carry. If you need me to, though, let me know. I'll come up. So the stone is now plumb in both directions. And if you look down here, you can see there's not a whole lot of room left in the slot, but there is a little. On the other side's actually even less. So I'm just going to take some of this mortar that's on the dry side. I'll put it in there, and then I'll just, with a pointing trowel, I'll just work it down in to make sure I've squizened out all the air. Is that a word?
I think so.
Squizen.
You said it out loud, so it's a word.
Oh, this is a 3/8 tuck pointer. I probably could use a smaller one, but it's in the truck. Let me just see if this gets the job done. You can kind of feel it when there's still air. It's sort of softer, and then all of a sudden it gets more firm because it's all mortar. You can also see that as I'm working it here, it starts to hydraulically push up back there. That's a good sign. This is the only support that holds the stone up. And you figure it's kind of like a sail. There's wind pushing on it, people bumping into it with the lawnmower and the weed whacker. There's people leaning on it. There's people trying to do a rubbing so they can read it or whatever, you know. Like I said, the other side has hardly any gap. But I'll just do what I can. Get some pushed in there. There's a very small gap in the mud that I put underneath. It's kind of filled what there is of a gap, you know. So but we'll do the best we can to make sure it's full. In a lot of cases, the right thing to do is probably to dig this foundation up. A lot of you who know how to do this are probably saying, hey, no, you can't do that. But the reason why I'm not is because the stone is in such poor condition. It was in 11 pieces. There's breaks that go all the way up near to the top and all the way down into the base. So I really want as much support as I can get here. So right or wrong, well, wrong I guess, but I'm gonna leave this base way down deep like this, and I'm gonna, I brought some good crushed 1-in-dust gravel, and once I get this mortared in, we're gonna pack that gravel around it real good. That's gonna give it a lot of support. We'll bring that gravel near to the surface, almost right up to the surface. Put just a little topsoil over it. That's gonna give it a lot of support, and hopefully keep it from having more failures. I mean, you look at this break, it's right at ground level here. It's worst case, you know, and this one is pretty low. It's not good. And the stone we know is flawed. Like I said on an earlier video, there's been at least 3 repairs before me, judging by the metal that was bolted to it and 2 different types of mortar in 2 different areas. So the stone is not a great stone, not a great quality stone, and it has imperfections that make it weak. So I just want to give it every chance I can to survive. The rest of this mortar that I mixed up, I'm just gonna kind of bank it up along the edge. Same, just like with the gravel, just for more support. You see that right there? That's something you never want to leave, because that little ledge that I've left, the frost can get under that, and if by chance that stays attached to the stone, it gives it a lifting point to pull up on it. You want to make sure you leave that smooth. And you're kind of getting right down to being a bit fussy when you're at that point, but it's a simple enough thing to fix. You know, just don't leave that. Make it smooth. So now it's got like a tapered out, you know, foundation, so to speak. For what it's worth, it's not much, but it's something. And you didn't leave a spot where the frost can grab and lift up on it. I say all this like I know what I'm doing. I can assure you, don't really. I didn't even stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. Okay. That's that. Now we're just gonna put some good gravel around there and pack it as we go, and that's gonna hold moisture down. You want that mortar to dry really slow. You want to keep it damp. In fact, if it's summertime, you keep spraying it with water every day. It takes it a couple of weeks to fully cure. We're going to put some gravel around it. That'll hold moisture. I'm going to dump some water on the gravel when we're done. And then I got some plastic and I got some hay. We're going to go around this with plastic. We're going to bank some hay up around it to make sure we're getting close to frost season. I just want to make sure it has at least a couple weeks without a frost to give it a fighting chance of drying and curing good and hard. So that's it. We're ready to put some gravel around it once I clean up my tools. Time for the gravel. Wyatt's just gonna try to keep it equal on front and back as he goes and put it in there. We'll go a few inches and I'll pack it just with my fist and then do some more. And I'll add a little water as we go to keep it damp. Okay, step 478. Last step. I'm so happy we found that piece that was missing. So all I got left to do, while we've been doing other things, that epoxy has dried on the front, and the infill on the front is it's not cured, but it's dry. It's stiffened up and it doesn't stick to your fingers. That's good news because I won't have to leave clamps on it. It'll stay right to where it is. All I got left to do is to fill. I'm going to infill the rest of those cracks, and we're going to be out of here with no handcuffs. Don't speak too soon. Again, you're just pushing in there. It's tempting to just kind of put it on, but you really want to keep working at it so that you know that you got all the air out. Because even this little piece, you know, if it's fastened really well, it's going to lend some strength to the rest of the stone. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to clean that little piece, so it's kind of dirty. But I think my wife's probably looking for a good reason to drive to Chester, New Hampshire next summer. We can come out and see if it's still standing, A, and give it one last good cleaning, or one more good cleaning, B. And then we'll call it a win. If I were smart, I would have took one of my plastic brushes and scrub that piece before I put it on there. But I'm pretty sure we have already established smart ain't really my gig. There seems to be quite a lot going on in the village of Chester today. It's Halloween weekend and they do this thing where everybody decorates their yard with these scarecrows. It's kind of cool. They're all dressed different, however they want. My favorite coming into town was Cousin Eddie from Christmas Vacation, standing out there with the hose from the crapper. One of my favorite good old-fashioned Christmas movies. That and Die Hard. Hey, son?
Yep. Christmas classics.
Christmas classic. Your mother says Die Hard's not a Christmas movie. Christmas trees
doesn't
right in the
understand.
lobby of Nakatomi Plaza, you know? It's a Christmas movie. I think that's it. What do you think?
Looks good.
All right. Let's point her back to New York. We're gonna go to the Sig factory on the way home. Well, with all the braces and the hay, it doesn't make the greatest after picture. But remember, all this is, the braces are temporary. I could take them off in a couple weeks, but I live too far away, so I'm gonna leave them. I'm gonna get a message to the guy that runs the cemetery and see if he minds taking them down. If I have to, I'll drive out and do it, but there's plastic under there around stone, and then the hay is there to keep the frost out so that mortar can stay damp and take its time curing without worry of freezing. So I think what we've done is a pretty good job. And old Sarah now stands next to Stephen, who obviously was in the Revolutionary War. See, we got bracing on both sides. It's good to go. I do wish I could pull the bracing and the hay away in a couple weeks, but like I said, it's too far. If I have to, I'll come back and deal with it in the spring. Hey, we were just heading for the porta potties and we came across this stone, and I thought, wow, that thing is old. That's Abe Lincoln. Those are muskets. Grand Army of the Republic, 1861 veteran. And I thought, that's amazingly clean and well kept. And then I remembered about that time they made zinc gravestones. That stone is not stone at all. That thing is made of zinc. Kind of cool, pretty rare. I've never seen one in person. I've only heard of them. If you ever see a real old one that is perfectly clean like that, it's either a stone that somebody really keeps after to keep the moss and mold from growing on it, or it's made out of zinc, which I don't know much about zinc. Probably poisonous, probably nothing can grow on it. It's kind of cool. It's probably Civil War gold down in the bottom, Wyatt. We'll never know. Yeah, these panels unbolt. If you want to add a person, they could unbolt the panel and they could put more names on it or whatever. Huh. John West, Civil War. New Hampshire volunteer. Oh, first New Hampshire heavy artillery. I bet he was deaf when he got buried. Thank you for your service, my friend. Operation Granny Gravestone completed. safe and sound, back in the 518 area code. Glad to have it done. I wanted to thank you for taking your time, watch my channel today. Make sure you go down in this area right in here and click subscribe, okay? If you haven't done so, tell your friends. I need the subscribers. If I can't get this channel to 1,000 subscribers pretty soon, this is gonna stop. But thanks for spending your time with me. I do appreciate you. God bless you. God bless the United States of America.